RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning. RBB, a live morning talk show that gives you the ability to get the coach you need, strategist you wish you could afford, social media manager and strategist, marketing strategist, project manager, certified OBM, VA, business startup strategist, profit strategist, web strategist, email funnel strategist, sales page strategist, PR strategist, time management, mindset, and overall business development strategist. We answer it all. With over 25 years of business experience, both in corporate and small business worlds, we really can answer it all. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's July 22nd. I can't believe it's almost the end of July already. Where did July go?
I don't know. A permanent roommate and I were talking about it over the weekend, and he was asking where the whole year went. Like, we can't believe that it's almost August.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been so fast, way too fast. So today we are talking about the recipe for marketing success. And yes, there is an actual recipe. Anybody that follows me on Danielle, the Rockstar CEO Facebook business page will see that I wrote a whole long, very, very long post yesterday about what a real social media manager and strategist looks like, and that it is involved in so much. Because I was talking to somebody and they were really frustrated because they had been screwed over by 4 social media VAs who said that they could market them and do great for their social media. And that's not what a VA is for. And then also 3 other social media strategists, because there are so many people out there talking about this is what they are, and they aren't actually, because being a social media strategist, so there's a really long list of what a social media strategist actually can offer somebody. Yes, I won the client. So we're going to be adding another client because there's a difference. So make sure that you really know what the differences are. So I'm going to go through what the recipe for marketing success is. And for marketing, there's actually a mathematical formula. So I'm going to share you kind of the recipe that goes with that formula. I am not going to share the formula with you because it's something that, no offense to anybody, it took me $80,000 degree to learn.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, I'm learning this morning too. So I'm going to sit here and stuff my face and listen and ask follow-up questions if I have them. Did I just get peanut butter on my watch? No, we're good.
Okay. So there is a recipe for marketing. And when you're going to do good marketing for a customer, that is not social media. So let me just tell you right there. It's not social media. Marketing is not social media. Social media is a piece of marketing, but marketing is not social media. Marketing is also not sales.
What is marketing then?
Sales is a piece of marketing, but marketing is not sales. Marketing is understanding and knowing your customer so that you can do social media, so that you can determine what you should price things at, so that you can determine what somebody needs. It is not the actual process of selling or social media. Those are pieces of marketing, and well-done marketing has those in it. But that's not marketing. So the first thing you have to know, and I don't care what you offer, you have to know who your ideal client is. I mean, we go over this all the time. But you have to know who your ideal client is, down to what they do in their free time, where they like to shop, what they buy when they shop, what they buy when they grocery shop, how many children they have. Do they have furry children? Do they not like furry children? Do they have allergies? You need to know everything about your ideal client. If you don't, your business is not sustainable. So I have an ideal client avatar that's 14 pages long, typed out in 13 point for us. For both DG Marketing and Be Boss Girl, 2 different client sets. You have to know your customer, because I don't care if you're a general VA. How do you know your customer needs you if you don't know who your customer is?
Oh, that's a sticky note. Mirror quote. That's a tweet.
So write it down. How do you know your client needs you if you don't know who your client is? How do you know your client needs a certain type of service unless you know what your client needs? You don't know what your client needs unless you know who your client is. You don't know who your client is if you haven't done the homework.
Dropping knowledge. Is somebody asking you something already?
Yes. So think about that. You can't develop a service offering because your service offering is, I'm a general VA. That's nice. What do you actually offer? Well, I offer support. Well, that's nice. I don't care what that is. What does that mean? Your client doesn't know what that means unless you tell them. But you can't tell them unless you know what your client needs. And you don't know what your client needs unless you know who they are, where they are, and what they're doing. If your social media isn't consistently, like daily, bringing you potential clients, then you don't know who your ideal client is, period.
Will you please, just for those that might not understand what you mean by potential clients, explain what that is? That does not mean booked discovery calls.
No, that means leads. That means a client that is interested enough to click on your profile and ask you a question. That means somebody who is looking to possibly hire you, not right this second, not sign a contract, not pay you right now. Somebody who is interested in what you offer enough to start a conversation with you. That is a lead, which a lead becomes a potential client. Somebody who signs up for your freebie on your website is a potential client. Some of them may be clients as well, but they're a potential client. Every person you talk to everywhere, and I've said this over and over and over again when I've talked about sales, every person you talk to anywhere, anytime, all the time is a potential client. This person I was talking to yesterday about being screwed was not on Facebook, did not come from Facebook group, did not come from Instagram. They came from Twitter. They had a question about something else I posted.
It's interesting.
Half the time, my potential leads are somebody I meet in a bar.
Those are my favorite.
Happens to me all the time. And it takes time. I mean, I'll tell you guys all the time, 25 touches before you could probably land a client. 25.
Not somebody should be closing within 5 minutes in your Facebook Messenger. And if they aren't, then you guilt them and shame them and tell them they're just not ready to invest in themselves and that BS.
So there was a thread I saw somewhere this weekend. Somebody complaining that she met with a potential client. And the client or the person backed away and said, I have to discuss this with my husband first before I make a decision. And her having a foot, how do I shame her? And these were the words she used. How do I shame her into purchasing now so that we don't lose a sale? Because when she talks to her husband, I know he won't want it.
That's unethical.
That's not ethical. That's not good sales. You have no integrity, and I hope nobody ever works with you. As a small business owner, as a female small business owner who has a husband that's a partner, I don't spend anything over $50 in my business without asking my husband first and discussing it with him. You want to know why? I have mutual respect for my husband, and everything I spend in my business affects my bottom line and what I bring home. So I need to know what our family finances are. And yes, I'm involved in that. Yes, we both pay bills, all of those things. We discuss everything before we make large purchases or do anything. Gina and I are business partners, no different than if you're a solopreneur with a husband. We discuss every dime before we spend it.
We discuss every email a lot of times that goes out if there's a client issue. I mean, like there should be open communication. Like my husband and I, our dynamic is slightly different because he's not necessarily a partner in the business, but he is, if there's something major that's happening, he is a decision maker. But still, we have open conversations around everything all the time. He knows exactly what Danielle and I are up to. Sometimes he doesn't want to know.
Yes, my husband is very much in that.
Yeah, but he's like,
by doing that, people,
yeah,
you are showing your level of respect for yourself and your business. And when your marketing tactic is shaming somebody, you don't know who your ideal client is. Also, any clients, and I could speak from this from experience, any client that you can land in 5 minutes from a Facebook group, 99.9% of the time turns out to be a sucky client.
They are nuts every time.
Because one, you as a business owner haven't done your homework on that potential client. You don't even know if they're your potential client. You're just going after money.
And it's also somebody that's looking for a magic pill, which you cannot provide, which means no matter what you do.
And if you're promising you're going to provide it, then you're also bad at marketing.
Yeah. So, and you yeah.
Okay. So your recipe, this is what your recipe looks like. You're identifying your customer need or want. How do you even know a customer wants something if they don't know who you are? And if you don't know who they are? I mean, it's pretty basic. Number 2, develop a product or service that actually makes your customer happy. So Sandra is a really great, she's going to kill me because she's like, why do you talk about me all the time? Because you're my coaching client. I know what you're doing. I know the process you've gone through. She knows what service makes her customer happy. She's a general VA, but what she offers is accountability VA services. And she knows that is her ideal thing that she wants to offer. How does she know that? She knows exactly who her ideal client is. She knows who she's going after. She knows that they're a CEO of a growing business who is overwhelmed, who's probably ADD or ADHD, who probably has so many more ideas than actual time in her life to do anything and gets overwhelmed by them all. She's narrowed it down to their likes and dislikes. Sandra has it narrowed down exactly where it should be. Because she hired somebody to help her with that.
You have to know your client, and you're constantly getting to know them better and better and better and better because it's a relationship.
Yes. And every client that you have helps fill out that ideal client avatar. And not for nothing, part of the reason why my ideal client avatar is so good, because I have 25 years of experience, people. I understand who my ideal client is. And when you know who your ideal client is, and you know your ideal client, you know what services they need, then you have to determine your appropriate pricing. That's number 3 for your recipe. And determining pricing is not about what feels good and what you feel you're worth and then charge tax. I hate that quote.
I hate that. Know your worth and charge tax. I hate that. Because what you think you're worth and what your skills actually are worth are 2 completely different things.
So I had somebody I talked to at a networking event a few months back, very much believes that. So she is charging for her social media posting. She only posts. She doesn't write the content for clients. She only posts. She's charging $1,500 a month per platform and couldn't figure out why she wasn't getting clients. She goes, well, I have a marketing degree. And I'm like,
so?
And I said, do you want to know what an average marketer makes in the corporate world? $40,000 a year, if you're lucky. That's a high-end marketing person. $40,000 a year. That ain't much money, honey. You're more like $20 an hour. She goes, well, I have to compensate for the fact that I have to take my own taxes out. And I'm like, I'm sorry. No, that's what you're worth. You're not doing anything that's beneficial by posting that is beneficial to clients because you're giving them back their time, but it's not that beneficial.
Not beneficial now, to the point.
I will tell you, because I've been doing this so long, I come from a world where my last marketing job, I was making much higher, multiple six figures, because I was a marketer, I was a community manager, I was a forum platform manager, I was a social media strategist, I was an ROI strategist, and a sales strategist. That's 6 positions that I was covering in my one position. I was worth my multiple 6 figures. I took that client from making negative money a year to millions of dollars a year. I knew my worth. I proved my worth. I had the resume to prove it. If you're just a social media person, you charge what the industry is. Knowing what industry standards are for knowing how to have appropriate pricing. Knowing who your ideal client is and what their budget range is. Because I don't care if you can charge $5,000 because somebody else in the industry happens to be, and that's the top end for an hour worth of work. If your ideal client is a single mom starting a business, you're not going to get $5,000 for that.
No, they don't have it.
So know who your client is. It all comes back to that, people, if you'll notice. So you've identified your client, developed a product or service around that ideal client, determined your appropriate pricing. Now you have to distribute the product or service in a manner that is agreeable to your customers, not convenient to you. So I love this. I understand the concept behind this, but only be on one social media platform until you learn it and you're good at it. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just pick one and be there. Is that where your client is? Let's go back to the conversation a couple minutes ago. 25 touches. 25 touches on Facebook when less than 6% of your followers see you means it's going to take you 6+ months. And yes, I had my husband do the math out for me. So 6+ months for that potential customer to see you enough times to get 25 hits because you're on one platform. Now, let's expand this. Let's do Facebook and Instagram. Same potential customer, same person, one potential customer that you're trying to reach. Less than 6% of them see you if they're a follower on Instagram. If you're just on Instagram, you're talking a whole year before they see you 25 times. Now, if you're on Facebook and Instagram, you just increased your time period probably down to 5 months. Or decreased it, I should say. Decreased your time period, I'm seeing you 25 times to 5 months. Did you notice? I added 2 platforms. I only decreased it a month. There is a reason why a good marketing strategy slams everything. Because you have to, especially in the online world. This is not something that is a slow or a fast process. It is a slow, steady, wins the race process. Where is your ideal client? They may not even be on Instagram at all. And just because everybody else in your industry is there doesn't mean you should be. Again, know who your client is. Now you have to promote your service, your product. That's when you decide where you're going to be, how you're going to be, how often you should be there, how much content do you need to write, how many graphics do you need, all of those things that go with that. That is where you design your social media process, your email marketing process, your Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, whatever those are. That's where you start doing that. And that's only designing the process. It's not actually doing it. Then you can sell your product once you've designed the process. But then there's a sales process. Now, the sales process, I'm not going to go through that. I gave you guys a quick and dirty sales process a couple weeks ago. Go back and watch the videos. The sales process part of the recipe has 132 steps for a well-done sales process. Your promote piece, the last piece, which is step number 5, has 540 steps when done right. Number 7, deliver your product or service. This requires a different person to do. You might be the person delivering, like actually providing the service. Do you have project management? Do you have SOPs? Do you have all your tasks? Do you have onboarding? Do you have, this is a whole entire other process, which you can ask Gina. And I know, because I have done this before, you're easy 300-400 steps setting up a good process for providing the product, the service to your client, the follow-up, the emails, all of the communication that goes with that. I have one client that building a website for her, just the email communication piece was over 700 emails. It's an extreme case, but every one of those emails triggered a process for tracking it, for making sure that things got done, checklists and processes and project management, every email. Think about that and your process of building your business. And then the last piece is in retaining your customers by proving your value, earning their trust, giving them a reason to be loyal. Let me tell you, if steps 5, 6, and 7 aren't on point, amazing, and totally done, step 8 totally ain't going to happen. I have a customer right now that has been with me for 8 years. Even when I walked away from the business I was working in, he left me, tried to find somebody else, went through 6 different companies or something like that, and is back with me and told me if I ever die or anything, he's coming back and digging me up.
It's dramatic.
He's had a very terrible luck with other companies. So he is my customer for life. Because I've done all of these steps. When he calls me, there are 14 steps before I even provide the service for him. And I'm breaking them up into their individual little steps for a reason when I talk about this, because it's not just as simple as answering an email. I have to make sure that I process it correctly. I have to make sure it gets in the correct area of my project management. I have a ticketing system that things go into. Everything is a step-by-step process. Nothing is quick, easy. Oh, I could just answer the email and be done. Because when you do that, you are missing a process and possibly not able to go back and refer to that email very easily. There's so many things that can happen when you don't do the process the correct way. And that affects your marketing. When you own a business and you don't treat the marketing as a major part of what you do, marketing is not social media, marketing is not sales. Remember that. Then you are starting a business that is going to fail.
Or it will see success for a little while and then just tank.
Yeah. So a business that isn't, every business can see success quickly. That is absolutely possible. We see it happen all the time. A business that's going to see success long-term, that's a different matter.
And those are usually the ones that take a while to gain steam. But that's because they've been doing what Danielle is talking about.
So marketing has an actual recipe. It has a mathematical formula. And to do it well, you have to do it well. And do it from start to finish and do it in order.
And don't get in a hurry.
Yeah, marketing is not.
I will be so glad when the days of the influencer and the $10,000, $100,000 overnight crap stops. And people start seeing them for the scam that they are. But until that day, Danielle and I will be screaming the truth from the rooftops and getting nasty grams for it.
Yep. Marketing is so important. So important. Okay, tomorrow we're going to have Christy from Slay Your Social Summit is going to be joining us. So she will be joining us tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the Slay Your Summit. It's a social media summit that is coming up not next week, but the following week. I think there are 7 of us that are going to be speaking on different topics. I'm going to be talking about branding, people, which is the first step in all your marketing. So we're going to be talking about all of that and just having a good conversation tomorrow morning. So join us to hear about what's going on. And the summit is absolutely free for all of you. So sign up and I'll have links for you tomorrow morning and all of that. So if you have any questions anytime on marketing, please let me know. Remember to rise, become, and be in your business. Have an amazing Monday. Bye-bye.
RBB Morning Show, the coach, mentor, marketing, and social media strategist you need each and every morning.